Nathan, are you really going to divorce Olivia and study abroad? In the quiet living room, Nathan looked at Mrs. Sullivan's shocked face across from him and nodded. Yes, Mrs. Sullivan. As you know, I wasn't the one who was supposed to marry her in the first place. For Olivia, I was just an unexpected stand-in. A substitute when the real groom didn't show up. Now that he's back, she's been so happy lately. It's time for me to go. Outside, a light snow was falling, creating a beautiful winter scene. He smiled lightly. Studying abroad has always been my dream anyway. Chapter 1. Mrs. Sullivan looked at the young man before her, remembering Olivia's wedding 3 years ago. Ethan, who was supposed to be the groom, had fled abroad at the last minute. Just as Olivia stood awkwardly on stage, red-eyed and unsure what to do, Nathan had put on an ill-fitting suit and slowly walked up. He apologetically took the microphone and addressed all the guests. I'm so sorry, there was traffic on the way. I'm late. With that act, he had saved Olivia's dignity and the Sullivan family's reputation. Mrs. Sullivan let out a long sigh, then asked uncertainly, will Olivia agree to the divorce? Nathan shook his head with a smile. I already got her to sign the divorce papers. 2 weeks ago, he had given her the divorce agreement. At the time, Olivia was in a rush to finish work and meet Ethan. She had signed without even looking and left. Now, in just 7 more days, he would be able to get the official divorce certificate. He would be free. After all, the Sullivan family had a 3-generation military background and couldn't go abroad. So once he left the country, he and Olivia would never have to see each other again. Just as Mrs. Sullivan was about to speak, a gentle female voice came from behind them. Nathan, what are you chatting about with Mom? Nathan turned around to see Olivia, whom he hadn't seen in days, walking towards them in a black evening gown that occasionally revealed her long legs. Hey, Olivia. Seeing her daughter approach, Mrs. Sullivan was about to step forward to scold her. Why are you here? With a mix of surprise and reassurance, Nathan stood up, giving Mrs. Sullivan a pleading look to interrupt her. I missed you, so I came by to pick you up, Olivia said, her eyes looking a bit guilty. In truth, she had come on purpose after finding out Nathan's whereabouts. After saying goodbye to the worried Mrs. Sullivan, the couple took their bags and left the Sullivan family home. On the way back, heavy rain pounded on the car windows, while inside was completely silent. Olivia remained quiet for a long time before finally speaking. Nathan, Ethan and I are really over. He just got back to the country and had heart surgery a few years ago, so his health isn't good. As an old friend, I just went to help him get settled. I hope you can understand. Nathan stared out the rain-blurred window and nodded. If only he hadn't seen how Olivia had dropped everything and excitedly rushed to meet Ethan the day he returned. If only he hadn't noticed Olivia selling the watch she had used for years and replacing it with a cheap bracelet Ethan had given her. If only, there were too many if-onlys. Nathan no longer had any expectations or trust left. A soft sigh filled the car. Faced with this husband she had married by chance years ago, Olivia wanted to explain further, but thinking of her own actions over the past 2 weeks, she ultimately chose to change the subject. Nathan, what was that document you had me sign 2 weeks ago? As soon as she finished speaking, Nathan turned to look at Olivia, his eyes showing 3 parts surprise and 7 parts bitter amusement. She was only now remembering to ask about that. Then again, ever since Ethan came back, everything else in her life had faded into the background. How could she be expected to care about anything else? Nathan was about to speak when Olivia's phone suddenly rang. Seeing the name displayed on the car screen, Olivia's face instantly tensed up. It's fine, go ahead and answer. It might be something important, Nathan said, looking out the window with an indifferent expression that made Olivia suddenly feel afraid. But she still answered the call, with the car's speakers automatically broadcasting the conversation. Olivia, I miss you so much. It hurts. Can we meet? Hearing the whiny tone on the other end, Olivia's knuckles turned white as she gripped the steering wheel. Her expression also suddenly turned cold. Ethan, I'm married now. I've told you many times, don't talk to me like that. There was a moment of silence on the other end before Ethan replied. But Olivia, I was supposed to be the groom at that wedding. The car suddenly screeched to a halt in the middle of the road, the tires making a huge noise as they skidded on the pavement. In their 3 years of marriage, this was the first time Nathan had seen Olivia lose control. She shouted at the screen. But you left. You abandoned me and left. The phone went completely silent. A moment later, Ethan's voice came back sounding choked up. I'm sorry, I was sick at the time and didn't want you to worry. I had no idea it would have such serious consequences. Olivia, my heart hurts so much. It's okay, just let me die like this. Then I won't bother you anymore, and you can live happily with my substitute. Soon there was no more sound from the other end. Olivia instantly panicked. She immediately looked at Nathan. Nathan spoke up first. It's fine, I'll take a taxi home. You go check on him. Don't let anything really happen. Olivia still felt somewhat guilty and said softly, I'm not going to see him. I just remembered there's an urgent matter at the company, so I need to stop by there. I'll come back to be with you after I finish. Nathan nodded and opened the car door to get out. Watching her car speed away, Nathan stood in the rain holding an umbrella, his eyes darkening. A moment later, he gave a bitter smile and started walking towards home, over 10 miles away. 3 years. It was time to end it. 3 years ago, he had put on that ill-fitting suit and married a woman who could barely remember his name. Friends and relatives privately said Nathan was pitiful, just a stand-in for his wife's true love. But in the 3 years since, they had shared romantic moments together and dreamed of the future. Nathan had thought he had melted the heart of this so-called ice queen, but now Nathan clearly knew he had been wrong. If that was the case, he should return to where he truly belonged and give back this position as Mr. Sullivan. It would fulfill Olivia's wishes and free himself as well. Lightning split the night sky, followed closely by torrential rain that swept through like a tidal wave. It also washed away the last of Nathan's feelings for Olivia. Chapter 2. Nathan slept alone that night. By noon the next day, Olivia still hadn't returned. When he woke up, it was still raining outside. Nathan stayed at home, calmly deleting all the posts about their married life from his social media accounts. Just as he finished cleaning everything up, he saw that Ethan, who had been threatening to die yesterday, had suddenly posted on social media. What's it like to be doted on by your ex-girlfriend? He included a grid of 9 photos. In the first, the usually cold and indifferent Olivia was in his arms, feeding him porridge. In the second, the normally aloof Olivia was sitting by his bedside, holding his hand. In the third, the usually proud Olivia was kneeling in front of him, her eyes full of concern as she helped him take medicine. The fourth showed a pile of luxury goods, each worth millions. Ethan had captioned it, "Thanks to Olivia's connections, I'm not angry or upset anymore." In the photos, the handsome man smiled sweetly, looking like the happiest prince on a phone call. The comment section was full of envious remarks. Left and experienced hardships, returned and it's still true love. Ethan, did you save the galaxy in your past life? No way, it must have been at least 10 galaxies. Ethan, how did you manage to make your ex still so devoted to you? Besides the envy, there were naturally some who wanted to mock Nathan. Nathan just glanced over them briefly, a few comments catching his eye. I wonder how Mr. Sue feels seeing all this. What could a mere substitute feel? Did he really think that by stepping in to save face as the groom, he could win the heart of the Sullivan family's princess? He's probably dying of jealousy right now. Want to bet how many minutes before this lapdog shows up? I bet 10 minutes. I bet 5 minutes. I bet 1 minute. He's probably already downstairs. I'll stake my new Lamborghini on it. Many people eagerly joined in the betting, with the stakes getting higher and higher. But Nathan just smiled resignedly. He would soon no longer be Mr. Sullivan in others' eyes. So why chase after a woman who didn't belong to him? So Nathan quickly typed out a response on his phone. I bet he won't show up for a lifetime. His words stirred up a storm, with many people immediately messaging to ask if he was joking. Nathan simply turned off his phone and stopped looking at any messages. Instead, he turned to make himself a bowl of noodles. Just then the phone suddenly rang. Nathan didn't answer, but the calls kept coming nonstop for 5 or 6 minutes before finally stopping. But soon after, the housekeeper, Mrs. Zhang, came in holding her own phone, looking troubled. Sir, the young miss wants you to answer the phone. Only then did Nathan pick up the phone and answer. Nathan, it's all a misunderstanding. I already made Ethan delete those posts. Don't overthink it. He was feeling very unwell yesterday. That's why I didn't come home. Nothing happened between us. Olivia's anxious voice came through the phone. The moment she saw Nathan's comment, she had panicked. Nathan looked at the noodles he had made and calmly said, I made noodles. Are you coming home to eat? Olivia was stunned for a moment before replying, I'm glad you're not angry. You can eat the noodles yourself. Ethan's heart is hurting again, so I'm taking him to the hospital for a checkup. Don't worry, we're really just free dash. Before she could finish, Ethan's panicked voice came through on the other end. Olivia, where are you? I can't see you. Did I lose you again? My heart feels so anxious. The call was abruptly hung up, leaving only Olivia's urgent voice addressing the other end. Ethan, I'm right here. You didn't lose me. Looking at the ended call, Nathan sent Olivia a message. That document you asked about yesterday is in the glove compartment on your side. Open it and you'll see what it is. It wasn't until 2 hours later that Olivia finally replied with one sentence. No need. Whatever you had me sign, I'm sure it's not to harm me. This meant she wouldn't look at it. Of course, right now she just wanted to be by Ethan's side. Why would she bother looking at anything unrelated to Ethan, even though that divorce agreement was right within her reach? In the afternoon, Nathan drove to follow a truck delivering supplies to the orphanage where he grew up. Nathan had been an orphan since childhood, raised here. Seeing Nathan arrive, the children were all very excited, running up to cling to him and share their experiences. After spending time with the kids, he went to the director's office to say goodbye. Mama director, I'm going abroad for further studies. The director was very happy. Nathan had been a top student in physics at Tsinghua University, but had suddenly given up studying abroad for a flash marriage. She had been regretful about it for a long time. Nathan, that's wonderful news. The director held Nathan's hand, smiling with satisfaction. But then she thought of something and her expression turned worried. But you going abroad to study means you and Olivia will be in a long-distance relationship. That can be very difficult. Nathan looked out the window at a few children playing and running around, shaking his head with a light smile. It's not a long-distance relationship. We're getting divorced. Because Ethan came back. The director was stunned at first, then let out a long sigh, feeling both regretful and relieved. I guess I wasn't wrong in my initial assessment. This marriage of yours was never going to last long. You see, once a person still has someone else in their heart, no matter how loving things seem on the surface, it's all fake. As soon as that person comes back, the marriage is over. So it's good that you're divorcing. She held Nathan's hand sympathetically, comforting him softly. Nathan smiled back and hugged the director. Yes, it was good that it was ending,